today we head to Uttar Pradesh, India to join Dr. Manas Roy, who's trying to unravel the mysteries of these cocoons.
Silk is a fascinating material. It's composed of a protein called fibroin. We're trying to find out exactly how the silk cocoon provides a suitable environment for the caterpillar to metamorphose.
This is what the outer surface of the cocoon looks like as we zoom in with a scanning electron microscope. As you can see, there are tiny crystals on it.
The first part of our experiment was to find out what the crystals were composed of.
So, pure calcium oxalate monohydrate was compared with 2 samples of crystals from the cocoons.
We obtained one of the samples by dissolving the crystals in solution and then recovering them. And the other we just scraped off the cocoons.
The output of the X-ray diffraction and Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy analyses showed that the crystals on the outside of the cocoon were calcium oxalate monohydrate.
We also found many other elements in it, with the inner and outer surfaces having different compositions. We conveniently had these cocoons with no calcium oxalate monohydrate on them, and others that still did, the wild ones, of course. We had these contraptions lying around, and we did a bunch of experiments. We changed the CO2 concentrations inside and outside, and measured what happened.
And from this, you got some very interesting results, I hear?
The results that we found for the CO2 experiment were interesting. However, when we did the O2 experiment, we found that it flowed equally in both directions across the membrane.
And that's called gating, correct?
Gating is a very groovy process, whereby gases flow one direction across the membrane. So in this case, the carbon dioxide is kept out of the cocoon. It's actually quite fascinating. The caterpillar builds this cocoon so it doesn't have to worry about the buildup of carbon dioxide, which would lead to it dying of suffocation.
Well, that's a cool adaptation. Are there any other ways that the cocoon protects the caterpillar?
We were really quite excited to find that these amazing cocoons can regulate temperature. At a low ambient temperature, the inside of the cocoon was kept warm, and at a high temperature, it was kept cool.
And what are some implications of these findings?
It's huge. People could use this information to build gas filters or insulation. And it's all thanks to this little tiny creature.
All stats were done using student t-tests.
Experiment was to find out what the crystals were composed of. Are you embarrassed? She has headphones in it. We obtained one of the samples by dissolving the crystals. I forget the line. We obtained one of the samples. I completely lost that. And the other we just scraped off the cocoons. And the other we just scraped off the cocoons. And the other we just scraped off the cocoon. And the other we just scraped off the cocoons.
We're using that one.
Any other elements on it, with the inner and outer surfaces. We also found many other elephants in it.
Elephants?
Elephants. 2. We found that... This line is too long. The results that we found for the... We were really quite excited to find that these caterpillars even regulate temperature. That's not the line. Why am I doing it that way?
I don't know.
I have a caterpillar on my nose.
Yes, you do.
People could use this information to build... Totally just went crazy. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. See that for the oat. Right.
Is that going?
No. I don't have it in my head. It's cocoon, so it can...
Paired with 2... Can you see this?
Yep. This is my face.
Pure calcium oxalate monohydrate? Fuck. There's a person there. The output of the X-ray diffraction.
That's all?